One of the mistakes I made in my PhD process was thinking that my research alone was going to land me opportunities. It was going to land me the jobs that I wanted or the jobs that paid well. And, I graduated from my PhD to find out that, yes, those things matter, but as a PhD student, you don't have to focus solely on your research if you want to get into careers, especially careers outside of academia. If this is your first time on this channel, my name is Dr. Gertrude Nontra, and on this channel, I make videos around slaying grad school and navigating the career market after the fact. I have a PhD in microbiology and immunology. Yes, I'm telling you not to just focus on your research. Yes, you should do a good job of your research. Yes, your research can open doors. Your publications can make a way for you after your PhD. However, for those of you that want to work outside of academia and even within academia to an extent, it is important that you do these things I'm about to tell you. The first thing is you have to network. You have to stop working in your little corner just by yourself, thinking that that little corner you're working in is what's going to get you to the ends of the earth, and begin to network. Even within academia, one of the things that I noticed was that they went to conferences. People go to conferences in academia. People go to events. People give talks. Why do they do that? They do that to build relationships with other people. Because believe it or not, this career world is not about just applying for jobs online. It really is about who you know. And I'd like to tell you that this wasn't the truth, but I've had recruiters both from academia and industry who have told me we will not and we do not hire people unless somebody recommends them to us, or unless you have a super exceptional CV that we want to take a look at. Okay, so yes, it's possible to apply online for jobs and get those, but most of the time you are going to get jobs from your network. So build that. 2 platforms that I highly recommend for building your network: LinkedIn and Twitter. These platforms are phenomenal when it comes to building a network of supportive people, a network of people in your field when it comes to talking about emerging topics in your field. So don't leave this activity out. It just takes about 10-15 minutes a day for you to be able to do this. And if you don't know where to start, you can definitely connect with me on LinkedIn, follow me and see how I do it, and then follow suit. Another thing you should be doing, okay, is doing informational interviews. So informational interviews are essentially get together with somebody that is in a profession that you would like to pursue and interviewing them, right? And so when I wanted to become a science writer, I got together with some science writers who are people who had been in the field longer than I have, spoke to them about their experiences, and that was really helpful. The way that you set this up is usually people have done this with me on LinkedIn, where they will reach out to me and say, hey, I'd love 15 minutes of your time to speak with you. Can we get on a call? And usually what I end up doing is sending them a calendar invite to get on a Zoom call, on a Google Meet call with me. It's a video call. We talk for 15-20 minutes. They get to ask me questions. They learn as much as they can about my career, and then they can take that with them. And so that's an informational interview. You just talk with somebody who is in a profession. And here's the thing that informational interviews can do for you. An informational interview, number one, will help you learn about that particular field, right? It will help you learn if it's something you want to get into. It will give you some insight into what that person does on a daily basis. It will give you some ideas of what the profession entails, because sometimes, what we think a profession entails and what it actually entails are 2 different things, right? So talking to somebody in the field is helpful. The second thing that an informational interview does is also to put you on the radar of people, okay? If you want to get on the radar of people, you should get up and get on their radars. Okay, I'm telling you, you really need to get up and get on their radars. And so what do I mean by getting on their radar? What that means is that if an opportunity opens up, right? I work in science writing and communications. If an opportunity opens up within my company, if an opportunity opens up for freelance work, if an opportunity opens up and I know that somebody who connected with me on LinkedIn and had an informational interview with me, because trust me, when I get on these informational interviews, I also love to know who those people are. They're not the only ones asking me questions. I ask them questions too. And so they get to know you, right? And so a role opens up, something comes along, an opportunity comes along, and the person's like, hey, I met this great girl, I met this great guy. I think I should reach out to them and ask them if they would love this opportunity. And then that person can reach out to you. And so doing informational interviews is really, really going to be valuable to your career because number one, you learn so much. And then number two, you get on people's radars. The third thing is really to rethink your expertise. Okay, and here's what I mean by rethinking your expertise. So many people, because maybe they got a PhD in a particular, studying a particular virus or bacterium or something like that, only sometimes think they can find jobs that are related to that thing. So let's say that you did your PhD on, HIV, and then you come out of your PhD and you're like, I did HIV research, so I'm going to find jobs in HIV research. Well, that's a wrong way to think. That's not the best way to think. The best way really to think is broadly, because trust me, as a PhD, you have picked up so many valuable skills, including getting the PhD itself, right? Getting a PhD is shows that you are able to take a project on a long-term basis and bring it to completion from beginning to end, right? It's just true. It shows that you've been able to do that from beginning to end. You also have communication skills that you develop. You have research skills that you develop. You have analytical skills that you develop. You have all these skills you develop that are a great skill set, great tool set. I was going to say tool set, but skill set that you can sell to potential employees. So don't sell yourself short. Don't just narrow your thinking to the subject that you studied. Think more broadly about the things that you've done in your career as a PhD student, and you'll be amazed as to what you come up with.